And welcome officially to the episode 29. I build things and I've also planned things. So, this is going to be the waste separation and incineration area thing. First, we have this general separation building where any garbage produced by the city or by the nearby industries is going to be brought here. Now, that's going to separate anything that can be burned and anything that is either metal scrap, aluminium scrap, or plastics. At least let me actually double check. Yeah, so this is all the things that it will separate: construction waste, metal scrap, aluminium scrap, plastic waste, and then whatever is left is mixed waste. Gets sent into an incinerator, which can burn these things at a certain rate. What's left over is ash. Ash will just naturally dissipate. So that's what this is for. If there is too much of it, I can have a rail connection and it's going to put it somewhere else. Other than that, here's a connection thingamagic for all the scrap, which can act as aggregates, and then that can be exported by an aggregate ship. Uh, and plastic waste is just open storage waste. So I can put it into an open storage and again export it if I really want to. In fact, can you carry plastic? No. So it can carry certain open storage items like bricks, aluminium, prefabs, and so on. It can actually do open storage waste, which is quite annoying. But it's fine. Like the separation office. What is it? I had just had it open. It has two loading stations inside of itself. And so I can just have a distribution office that whenever there is enough plastic waste, just going to grab it and again bring it somewhere else. And I need to figure out a place for plastic waste. Probably somewhere in the harbor area again. You slowly loading with oil, except not right now because there was literally no wind. And I hear, or rather do not hear, any helicopters. You know what that means? I get to assign more helicopters. Oh. Well, then I've put this school wrong way around. But that's fine. You might even get a temporary soccer field. Because I would also like to place somewhere in the vicinity a proper football stadium, which probably is going to be around here because I will have no other use for this area. And there's already a bus stop. The only problem with that is that what was it? Surely not in the indoor pools. This one, City Stadium. It's massive, and I absolutely love it. And it can be right next to this. Yep. And if it's going to be here, then I can have buses shipping people that do want some sport to go out here. The only problem with that is that it does not have an attraction score, and so people can't replace stuff like drinking alcohol with it, which is silly. But it is what it is. Also, it only works if the temperature is high enough. But it kind of makes sense. You can't really play soccer in winter. I mean, technically you can. It's just annoying. I've seen it done. So what's next? I connected this with a temporary connection. Tore down a bit of the fence. We now have all of this pipeline, and as you can see, it's filling with hazardous waste. That will be an issue soon. So let's build the garbage stand. How much can you hold internally? 7.5 tons. Okay. Yeah, hazardous waste can be burned directly with no issues. What was it again? Burnable waste, hazardous waste, other waste. It's probably the best to separate it, to have purely hazardous waste that can just be brought into the incinerator, and then whatever's left is like, I don't know, gonna be like 50% burnable. That gets separated out. This will need one-way connections, otherwise it's not going to work properly. And yeah, now I can test my idea with a helicopter. So we have this one. You will be going here. Loading workers. Let me actually check something. Once a couple people arrive. Yeah, I want you to pick up everything except university-educated workers. And then you will try going here. Unload workers. Go. And hopefully it will be able to land at the aircraft parking spot. If not, we'll have to construct an actual helicopter landing spot thing. Yep, you will refuel. And you didn't load anyone, but it's fine. Because there's no construction going on yet. And we will see what that does. Also, how long it actually takes it. Preferably, I would like to have 2 helicopters going on in a shift. Yeah, you can land there, so that's fine. So now we have this. Give me helicopter construction office. Build these wires. I also had to tear down the road. I realized that I have no fire coverage, and so there will be a fire station with helicopters, which I need to research. Which I think I've just researched. So that's neat. Helicopter parking slots. We'll need a triple. Put it up next to it. build this as well. And connect this and this. And now all the vehicles that I have here will actually go help out. I have this construction office with covered halls that are now taking items from the storage that I deliver by planes. And whoa, it's windy today. Cool. So, get the power line done. And once we have the power line, I will switch focus to here, and we'll need the gas station and this garbage stand. They will probably finish the garbage stand together with this. But this doesn't need any workers. Fuel, that's fine. And once we have power in here, I can start planning out the rest of the port infrastructure, which will be to bring in gravel, which that will allow me to gravel up all of these roads, because they will need to be graveled up anyway. At least the ones that are intended for trams. I'll see about the rest, because I will need some sort of bus stops in places, and I'll need to plan that around like where the actual houses will go. And that will cause me issues. I mean, we do have these corner sections as well if I wanted to use them. I just don't know how well that's going to align. Yeah, these are probably supposed to be like standalone, not as a actual wall of houses. Where are they? These. These you are kind of supposed to fit together like this, and let's say this, so that like it's not completely plain. And you just create a row of them, and then maybe interrupt them in a place, and so on. They have nice gates that go with them. And from the looks of it, from what I've seen from the trailer, they are actually coming into vanilla for the early start DLC. Man, like I really have to admire Robs, because like he went from being just a modder to being part of the team. It's really cool. And yeah, I will be getting the early start DLC, even though like I might have like a lot of the items already covered as part of mods. There's still a ton of content that's not on the workshop. It's going to be perfectly original. Plus you get the kind of guarantee of compatibility, and the fact that like you no longer need to essentially use a cheat to change the date to start. It remains to be seen how far back it will allow you to go. I think the trailer mentioned 1930s, which is roughly where I usually start anyway. Yep. Oh, I wonder if the hills that I use will make it in there. If not, I'll just end up using mods, but... I'm not going to put fence around you yet. They already finished the wires, that's wild. This just needs a couple workers. I had set you to high priority, so... Yeah, there are the workers. It's going to take like 5 seconds to be done. Let me just... This is probably going to kill half of my republic. But now it's finished. Now let's see what kind of a mess we actually created out here. You're fine. You're fine. Going up. Government loyalty going up. It's now at 41% average. This is fine. What else do I need to check? You are fine. You are fine. You are producing stuff. Let's check what's going on here. You're fine. You're fine. You could be better. Road vehicle production facility. We could. You're fine. Because we might need to soon start producing our own vehicles because yeah, they only have a limited availability time. Unless I just decide to change the difficulty setting, which I've been talking about for quite a while. This is perfect. It actually allows me to connect it like that and create a perfect right angle connection. Set this to high priority. This will need a lot of material. So in the meantime, let's plan out where we put the infrastructure here. I'm thinking of going around through here. And just make sure that, yeah, all of those buildings get connected. We want all of these buildings connected to here. Can I cover you with the same one? No. Doesn't matter. It will probably cover with the village. Electric substation. You can get away with having a dead path. Could I have put it onto the grid? Probably. But it's fine. There. There. And I don't know. Will I need to acquire going back there? It's a good question. No, we'll use this one for this section. We'll use this other one to cover the airport in case of need. But honestly, it doesn't need a lot of power, so it can just use the windmill. Okay, confirm. You can start building this. And I might have mentioned it already, but I could have used like self-heating houses out here, but that feels like a little bit too easy because it does create pollution, but it doesn't really create any waste. It doesn't consume any resources, which again, it would be kind of fun if you could actually deliver coal directly to houses to heat them. And there are sort of mods that kind of simulate that. They're like, let's see, what are they called? Yeah, Village Coal Dealer. Which, what it really is just a tiny heating plant that does. Where is your pollution? I swear it had a pollution. Yeah, if anything, you're better off with this one. Small heating plant. It does actually create pollution. Has no pipe connection, so you need to build it in the town and deal with the pollution. And yeah, you deliver coal to it bit by bit. I think it has a storage for 20 tons. So, the distribution office can handle it just fine. I bought some more trucks. I bought some fire trucks that we will be able to use. Obviously, later, not now. And it's already August. We now have almost 1 million in the bank. Let's see, do you have grain? Oh, you have plenty of grain. And you're in the middle of the harvest, so... That's fine, that's fine. I'm slowly abandoning this place. Not in the sense of like actually removing people, but not focusing on it as much. Also, let me delete this node. This is a cool little detail. I discovered it by chance by going on the workshop some time ago. These are like traffic signs, not traffic signs, tourist signs, yes. And you can essentially put them on like a very high place, and people from, let's say, a station will walk there. Now, obviously, they can only walk like 500 meters because they're lazy. But you can create like a hiking trail and connect it to a what do you call it? Cableway. That's it. You can create a cableway from a stop, and then people who are in the want of a sporty adventure or just any attraction because it has an actual attraction score can go walk up a hill, and it needs workers and does create garbage, so you better create some kind of a road connection to it. It can host like 500 tourists and only uses 10 workers, which kind of realistic for a summit. And what I wanted to show with that is, if you put it on a flat ground like this, it can even have negative score. If you start putting it on like some kind of a peak like this, it will start getting more and more score. And if you put on a really tall mountain, you can get pretty good score. Like this, yeah, 2.3, 2.1, 2.7 even. See what I mean? Oh, 3. Holy nice. And here at Svidava, I have built a cheeky statue of Lenin that's looking into this lake area, which this is a bit of a historical me liking history and knowing stuff. Did you know that Lenin was actually a fan of hiking? Like mountain hiking specifically. I mean, something exiled in Switzerland. But yeah, apparently he visited one of the taller mountains in Slovakia, and that's like a famous tourist spot. Partially thanks to him. Well, okay, it's always been a popular spot. That's why he went there. But now it has that added lore of like, you know, once upon a time, the dude was here. Interpool is on fire. We'll just splash some pool water on it. Yeah, we're having a slight issue here with firefighters. As you might be able to tell. It always takes a while for them to get anyone in. You're the worker delivery to the power plant, and you're not bringing anyone yet because nothing is being constructed. Okay, we have you. Give me 4 hazardous waste. And then there's going to be burnables. Oh, you're slowly filling this. That's why there's nothing there. That's fine. What do you need? Just a couple workers. Set you to high priority. You can get high priority. But mainly, let's build the power plant. And once we have the power plant, I'll see you then. Also, this is something that the devs probably could do. Give me a slider on how far these unbuilt buildings actually render. Because if you're planning a city and you wanna check out how it's actually looking from a bigger distance, you can't. And also maybe an option to switch between this translucent one and having like a solid color. I don't know. This translucent one works if you're like placing things and you need to look through things, but like I wanna, like, once I'm building this, right, I wanna know what it looks like. That's a minor nitpick. I mean, there's ways to do it. I could just make a secondary save, loan a bunch of money, turn off realistic mode, have it build it once, see how it looks, and then probably go back and change it on the real save. But hey, being able to switch from this ghost image to just like tell me what it will look like from a distance uh, could be useful. Okay, you're building the wire. It's actually decently fast. Uh, yeah, you're going for 1% of electronic components. Oh, it's because this only needs like 60, 70 kilos. Uh, yep, you're done with the parking stand. Let me reconnect the fence. Yeah, as you might be able to tell, my mouse is slowly dying. It is extremely. Oh. Okay. This was not intentional. But I'm so glad that it fits this well. Okay. Get rid of. No? I can't get rid of the nodes. I mean, that's fine. And. Yep. Where is the passenger helicopter? Is this you? Let me click here. Ah, 3 workers. Could be better, could be worse. Well, now there's like 17 of you. Yeah, we'll need to increase the frequency of that. Helicopters aren't cheap, but I guess we can afford a few more. Workers outside CO, yes, good. And yeah, I'll see you once this is built, because this will take ages. And with that, the construction on this gas power plant is finished. And yeah, there is no water yet. But, you know, that just makes them kind of unhappy. It works just fine for the production that we need right now. I did finish the fire station. We now have 2 helicopters in here that they should be able to take care of any fire that we might run into for the foreseeable future. And the next thing really is going to be finalizing this village, getting it set up, and then planning the initial construction industries. And, well, eventually planning out the city itself, which I will just do off camera because this will take ages, like actual hours upon hours of just fiddling with buildings just to make them fit correctly. But yeah, I have 2 helicopters running this line, delivering workers every now and then.
It's not perfect coverage, but it is enough to provide at least temporary power every now and then to speed up the mining operation and to provide a boost whenever. Basically, the delivery of workers from here will be unreliable, at least in the beginning, and so it's good to have something to deliver workers in case whatever in here that relies on electricity will fail and prevent workers from getting to work. Essentially, that's the short of it. I was planning on building a wooden bridge across here. Turns out that might not be necessary, actually. And so it's just going to be here, and I'll build a another city in here. I've connected this as a sort of kind of proto highway on this tiny island. I'm not sure what I'll use it for. Probably just to supply whatever city is going to be in here. I don't even know what that city is going to be used for. But probably nuclear. Actually, let me map this out very quickly. This is 1,000 meters. Down to here, which incidentally is about 1,000 meters to here. So we can have a nuclear setup going on in this corner. With the city to supply it out here. And then around that, whatever other industry we see fit. There's going to need to be heating, the coal supply, which probably can be done by rail. And then we can use the space around that to build a cargo terminal? Does that sound insane? Or should I put it somewhere in here? We'll see about that, it's not important. The important thing is, there will be nuclear. Let's just... no, not like this. Bebrzych. Let's call it that. There's going to be our nuclear, and there's going to be a small town city that's just going to be supplying the nuclear industry. Which reminds me, we should probably start researching that. What is my technical university? You're barely covering that, so let's just do the other one. You're even more backed up. But that is fine. You can work on it on a very slow pace. Radio, providing a loyalty boost. We're now all the way up to 44%. So we can raise this to 40%. Basically, the more loyal workers you have here, the better boost you get. The better boost you get, the more loyal workers you get. And if you do a cutoff, all the less loyal workers are not going to work there, which is good. Basically, you want a balance of having enough workers and having workers that have high enough loyalty rating. Uh, oh yeah, I had to set up a demolition office for helicopters because something burned down, and a brand new distribution office exclusively for fuel. Let's give it a transparent. There you go. And with that, I'll see you in the next one. It's gonna be episode 30, so it better be something big. Goodbye and have a good one.